It's intense. The spray, you know, when I first was trialing the spray as we were going along, I'd spray it on wherever I needed it, right? You've got to know the amount, you know what I mean? The spray, I would say, would be immediate. You have a bang, you're not taking a bruise or an impact. It's a little bit, you get to know about it, but I was very, very cold. But then after it starts settling in, you start feeling loose in the limbs, everything starts feeling awake, calm, cool. You go back, you know what I mean? And now I'm a pro with the spray. I love the product.
Tillotson has been fueling innovation for more than 100 years, and we're continuing that tradition by expanding our product range consisting of Tillotson carburetors and engines, the T4 kart packages and PVL ignition coils, to include Tidal Sport products, because Tillotson are now the Irish importer for Tidal Sport. Developed alongside Conor McGregor, Tidal plant-powered cryotherapy spray is a revolutionary new pre- and post-workout recovery spray to rejuvenate your joints and muscles. Go to tillotson.ie/shop to get yours today.
I couldn't put my name behind something that I didn't believe in and give it to my fans. I have a lot of loyal fans and a lot of loyal supporters, and I just couldn't. And especially in this category. We've been going back and forth for many years now with Tidal Sport. Like I said, I'm not going to touch it unless it's correct here, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until I started getting real benefit out of this that I was all in on it as well. I'm starting to realise there's something really, really, really magical in this spray. And yeah, it just solidified my belief in the product, and that's it.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and very, very welcome to you all and to the Tillotson T4 Esports Series 2023. I cannot tell you how good it feels to say that. That is one of the most exciting things that you will hear all year, and all of our drivers are going to be thinking the same. 32 drivers have entered this round. Now this is the Euro Series. Unfortunately, the US Series has been postponed due to technical issues. I can't tell you what they are because I'm not entirely sure. I'm not that much of a whiz with technology, which is why I'm only just here, because I was within a hair's breadth of not making this stream. But thanks to our Lord and Saviour Adam behind the scenes, he reminded me to plug my HDMI cable into my graphics card rather than the motherboard, which is a fairly simple mistake to make. You have to say, for someone who's supposedly meant to be a professional, you know, it's quite an embarrassing mistake to make. But nevertheless, here we are at Kristianstad circuit, virtual Kristianstad, in the south of Sweden, just 6.6 kilometers south of the town of Kristianstad, and located in Scania County, which, as far as I know, has no relation to the truck company. But nevertheless, the drivers are all getting ready. We have tonight for you 2 heats and a final, I do believe. I don't think we've divided the drivers into 2 different groups, so it is just going to be 2 heats and a final, and then we will do it all again next month. And not entirely sure what circuit we're going to be doing it at, but do follow Tillotson on all of our social medias to find that out in due course. Here is, who is this? This is David Vishaw in qualifying. 4 minutes left on the clock as they are, oh my dearie me, rounding the final corner there. David Vishaw. Currently Hardy Mimasi on pole. Never mind, it's Zane Khan now. By look at that, the tiniest of margins between Khan and Mimasi, 0.04 seconds. That is something incredible. Riding on board with James Greer now as he rounds the first 2 corners through this fantastic chicane. Very easy to mess it up there. We have seen last year a number of crashes there. It was a very tricky corner for a lot of the drivers to get right, it seemed. But nevertheless, he manages to navigate it with a great degree of skill. Taking a lot of curb, though, however. That can't be advised in a lot of go-karts. Look at how aggressive he is, throwing it in to turn number 6 as well. Now, allegedly, there's 15 or 16 corners on this track, depending on how you count it. but I can only count 13. But mind you, I'm not counting the bends because, well, I mean, I'm not the FIA, so I don't count a bend as a corner because that's just confusing to everyone. So if my corner numbers are a bit off from what you might be used to, then I do apologise. But we do things different at Tillotson. Obviously, we're revolutionary in the way we number corners and also the way we approach karting with, by quite some margin, the best value for money karting series there is out there in the T4s. As we can still see James Greer going around the place, having a great time. And I thought we had significantly fewer drivers than were on the entry sheet there, but we do seem to have roughly the right amount of numbers compared to what I was expecting. I'm just trying to pull up the entry sheet on my commentary assistant device, also known as a Nokia 2.3, as we can still see this really is a fantastic circuit, a very fast flowing circuit in the south of Sweden, one where a lot of moves are possible. You'll remember from last year if you were watching along. If you weren't watching, then the full stream is available on the alphalive YouTube channel. Just search T4 Esports 2022 Kristianstad and it will come up. And it was an absolute blinder of a I was about to say a race, but there were 3 races, obviously, 2 10-minute heats and then a final. And, well, I mean, one of the drivers here today, currently sitting in P9, Nathan Maximin, had a very big shunt at the 3-4 chicane. And Ian Williams as well, who unfortunately isn't here this evening, also rolled, which was very, very eventful. And myself and Anthony did have a lot of fun watching that. I really can't speak today, ladies and gentlemen. I've noticed that the entirety of the day, it's really not something... Oh dear, the lights have just gone off in the office. It's really not something that you want from a commentator, stumbling over every other word. But nevertheless, we'll do our best to deliver on the promise. Well, it's probably a misplaced promise of good commentary, as we see Calai Atkins, the reigning T4 Senior Nations Cup champion. He takes first position by, just shy of half a tenth there. That's, I mean, you have to say, some tiny margins, and is immediately displaced by Hardy Mamasi. You have to say, Mamasi showing great form this evening, even in qualifying with only 30 seconds left on the clock. It does look like he's going to take pole position for heat number 1. Now, the way that these heats work is the qualifying order decides the grid for heat 1, and then heat 2 is an exact reverse of the qualifying order. So let's say hypothetically, with just over 10 seconds left to go, Hardy Mamasi takes pole. He will start on pole in heat 1 and then last in heat number 2. And as qualifying comes to a close, everyone is going to be finishing their laps, and we are going to see who is going to take pole. Is it going to be Hardy Mamasi? Well, we're currently riding on board with Hardy Mamasi, and he's stopped. So I'm going to say he's quite confident in his lap. And Calai Atkins also seems to have come into the pits, as has Zane Khan. And I think everyone's just returning to the pits. I'm not sure is it a case of locked controls after qualifying. But it does certainly look like Hardy Mamasi will be on pole for the first race of the Tillotson T4 Esports Series 2023 in front of the reigning champion of T4 Senior, Calai Atkins, who won his place at the Nations Cup last year by winning the T4 Esports Series. Then comes Daniel Amore. He also won a ticket to last year's Nations Cup and finished P2 in the junior final. So second and third finished first and second in last year's Nations Cup. Then comes Zane Khan and Nathan Maximum. Then I think I don't have Mr. Gilbert on my entry sheet, so I'm not sure what his first name is. But Mr. Gilbert, you're very welcome along. David Vishaw. Then I don't have Mr. Harvey Jones. Harvey Jones sits in position number 8. Then comes James Greer and James Bell. And then in P11, just missing out on the top 10, comes... I'm trying to find it on the entry sheet once again. You can tell I was a bit disorganised for this. P11 is... I forget who's in P11. That's never what you want to hear from a commentator. I forget who's in P11. Well, in P21 at least. Oh, no, here we have P11. I'm looking for Phillips. And, it is Philip Philip Ganner. That's interesting. The name is the wrong way around there. Then comes Daniel Kelleher. As we are taking quite a long time to do this, Adam. I do apologise, and viewers for that matter, trying to get through the qualifying order, but it does keep flipping. Then we have Lucas Blanford, Flynn McClumpher, Niall Herson, TJ Traffer, and then we have Joel Hull, and it's gone again. It has gone again. I can run you through the final four quite easily. It is Philip Ganner, and then Daniel Perrin-Smith, Sean O'Leary, and then someone finished in last, and they're going to be starting on pole in heat number 2. That's pretty much all you need to know, and the positions have gone away now, so I believe that's my cue to stop butchering the qualifying order. And we will be having heat number 1 after that gripping qualifying session after this.
This is not just a sport. This is not for just the athlete. We all feel pain. We all feel something. You know, you could wake up and sleep on your arm a little bit funny and you feel a little... These are the type of things that I've been using it for. The sprays here and there, and just, you know, just to keep everything. But I gave it, like I said, I wasn't going to just put my name behind anything. And that's it. Spray it straight away upon waking. You know, like I said, it just switches you on.
When everything hurts, you need relief that's deeper than ice. You need Tidal, the cryotherapy spray that goes beyond cold to take control of the pain.
This was just easy, and it felt so good.
I was like, wow, that actually smells good.
It's like penetrating into my skin, which I really love.
Tidal's powerful plant-based formulation was developed to help world-class athletes recover faster.
Tidal cryotherapy spray can contribute to total body recovery because it can alleviate muscle pain, joint pain, even back pain.
A 360-degree continuous spray relieves pain in even the hardest to reach areas, dries fast, and lasts.
When you get older, the joints start hurting. The spray is easy. You just bring it wherever you are, spray it, and it feels great within minutes.
It changes my life in a way that I can still be active and yet not feel aches and pains when I'm sitting there for long hours.
Tidal Cryotherapy, available at Walmart and these fine retailers. Visit Tidal.com for locations.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the T4 Esports Series 2023. If you are just joining us, very welcome. You have just missed out on qualifying, but you still have 3 races to watch. You have Heat 1, Heat 2 and the final. Let's take you through the qualifying finishing order. Lining up in first place is Hardy Mamassi in front of Callum Atkins, the reigning T4 Senior Nations Cup champion, on the first row. Daniel Amore starts directly behind Mamassi in P3, in front of Zane Khan and Nathan Maximin, who rounds out the top 5. Remy Gilbert starts in P6 in front of David Vishaw and Harvey Jones. James Greer in P9 in front of the other James Bell in P10. Isaac Phelps lines up in P11 in front of Daniel Kelleher and Lucas Blanford. Flynn McClumpher lines up in position number 14 in front of Niall Herson in 15th and TJ Traffer in 16th. Joel Hull lines up in 17th in front of Cantor. We're away now, the green flag flies, and it seems to be a pull start from the front row. We all get away cleanly though, however, and oh my goodness me, it's only an 8-minute heat. Never mind, forget what I said about the 10-minute heats. It is position number 4, getting all kinds of out of shape. Not entirely sure who that is at this stage of the race. Obviously everyone in the same cart, so it's difficult to tell as a commentator who's who. They're 3 wide for position number 2, coming in to turn number 6. This is absolutely fantastic racing right off the bat. Look at this, 3 wide again, coming into turn number 6. Turn number 6 that is, as we somehow survived the first couple of corners. Well, not everyone did, but it is James Bell who has got up into the lead from position number 10. That is a fantastic start by Bell. Nathan Maximum as well has gone from 5th to 2nd, and Harvey Jones has gone from 8th to 3rd. That is absolutely brilliant. And as we oh my goodness me, I'm getting so excited I can't speak. As we round the final corner, we finish the first lap, and look at that, Bell going defensive to the inside. That is going to sacrifice his run out of the first corner and into the chicane, and he is under pressure from Maximum behind. Less than 2 tenths separate them at this stage of the race, but everything's starting to settle down now. Not too many incidents. It's normally the first lap and the last lap that we see the crashes, and at that stage the timing normally isn't up, so I can't tell you who has crashed until the running order comes up and we see who has gained and who has lost. As up the inside goes Remy Gilbert on oh my goodness me, on Harvey Jones. That is absolutely, you have to say, extremely bold. And up the inside of all of them goes Daniel Amore. This is brilliant. This is just, there's such a gaggle, it's impossible to keep up. They're 4 wide. Someone's on the grass there. That's Nathan Maximum, I believe, as we come round the final couple of corners into sector 3. They're 3 wide again. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, this is impossible to keep up with. My goodness me, they round, you know how I said all the crashes happen on the first lap? Well, it seems that I was wrong, as James Bell still leads. He's stretched out his lead from Daniel Amore to just over a second now, and then comes Harvey Jones in position number 3 as they all make their way through the chicane. No incidents thus far, a bit of battling going on slightly further back outside of the top 10, but all good so far. And with 5 minutes 30 on the clock, you have to say it has been an extremely eventful first 2.5 minutes, as James Greer has got past David Vishaw and also Luke Woodward for position number 17 down the order. As everyone's starting, you have to say, starting to spread out now at this stage in the race as we enter sector 2. Oh no, never mind, we're already quite away to sector 2, excuse me, as we see in front of Remy Gilbert, that is Zane Khan and Callum Atkins going hammer and tong with each other, but that has not worked out, and Callum Atkins demoted down the order. He's spun out, and that is a terrible start to the esports campaign for the reigning T4 senior champion in Callum Atkins. He was so consistent at the Nations Cup. He won every race except the one that he DNF'd due to a chain falling off, and well, you have to say that is extremely disappointing for the British Jamaican racer as they come down now into turn number 4. No incidents thus far, but there was a little bit of battling going on just up ahead. I think that was Phelps and Kelleher potentially having a bit of a ding-dong battle there, and everyone, you have to say, settling down at this stage, but that won't last for long. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, if you know T4 Esports, you know that it never stays calm for long. It is in a permanent state of being the calm before the storm, as we watch Zane Khan rounding the final couple of corners, really putting Remy Gilbert under pressure, and Remy Gilbert is going to be looking forward to Daniel Kelleher and Phelps battling away with each other. Now this is going to lose them time, and they are going to fall into the clutches of Gilbert and Khan behind, and this could turn into a tasty little battle as they round the first corner into the chicane. Any moves? No, none thus far. Phelps maintains the lead over Kelleher, but look at this, up the inside goes Gilbert on. Oh dearie me, no, never mind, I've got that wrong. Khan up the inside. Oh no, never mind, I've got that wrong again. Look at this now though. Oh dearie me. Gilbert up the inside of Khan. No, never mind, I've got... Oh dear, why? How am I getting it this wrong? It really is beggars belief. Daniel Kelleher is who we're riding on board with. He's looking back at Zane Khan and then Remy Gilbert behind. So Zane Khan has got past Remy Gilbert somewhere in the last few corners. Oh dearie me, Zane Khan's front fairing, they're just digging into the ground as he shuffles his way over the curb. And as they round the second to last corner now, you have to say the battle calmed down significantly. But like I say, it's in a permanent state of being the calm before the storm, so we won't worry too much about that. Oh dearie me, there's a 5-second penalty for Zane Khan up in front. That is presumably for passing using contact, and that is going to play havoc for his race, and his race result as round the outside goes Zane Khan, attempting to at least on Daniel Kelleher. He can't get the move done. He takes to the grass, trying to go up the inside of Kelleher. Oh my goodness me, little bit of contact there, and he's fallen back down the order and has been taken by Remy Gilbert, and now Kelleher defending from Gilbert as he tries to go around the outside, and Khan gets Gilbert back. This is absolutely ding-dong stuff. Look at that, Kelleher going defensive to the inside again. That's going to hurt his momentum, and Gilbert up the inside of Khan once again. How many times are we going to see this manoeuvre? It is absolutely brilliant racing. Look at this, a fantastic camera angle there. You can really see the action from pretty much a driver's eye point of view as we ride on board with Zane Khan, having lost those 2 positions, and with a 5-second penalty now to add as well. That's really not going to help his race, and battling isn't going to help his race as well, because he is going to be losing significant amounts of time to any of the carts behind, and sitting in P9 you really don't want to have any issues like that. The top 10, it must be said, are competing for Steam gift vouchers in this race, as we see Daniel Kelleher in the orange overalls going defensive to the inside. Once again, you have to question what is... Oh, there's what he's trying to achieve, trying to go up the inside of Phelps there. He hasn't got it done, and now he's under attack from Remy Gilbert behind, and Zane Khan takes them both almost, but no, he's pushed out to the outside by Daniel Kelleher. Robust defending, you have to say. And Isaac Phelps is just licking his lips at this. He's thinking, well, this is just brilliant for me. As we look back to, this is James Bell chasing down Daniel Amore, and we've got Harvey Jones in there as well. The top 3. Now, what result does this define? Or what? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, goodness me, there's contact between the top 2, but they both managed to keep it together. That is extraordinary levels of skill there between James Bell and Harvey Jones, both managing to keep their carts going in a straight line despite contact at, has to be said, very high speeds for the T4s. That's one of the fastest points on the circuit after that 170 metre long straight through the sweeper of turn 1, and there's a very high potential for a big crash if you get it wrong into the chicane and have contact with anyone, particularly with go-karts. There's not an awful lot you can do sometimes when you crash into someone. There is very little time to fix any issues that might arise. But as we look to James Bell, he is not going to be able to take Daniel Amore across the finish line. Oh no, never mind, we still have... Do we still have another lap? It's difficult to say. I'm really sure. No, it's finished. It has finished. And Daniel Amore, the man who won the final here last year in this round, has won Heat 1 again this year. Fantastic performance there from Daniel Amore. He takes the flag in front of James Bell, Harvey Jones, Hardy Mamasi, Nathan Maximum, Isaac Phelps, Remy Gilbert, Zane Khan, Daniel Kelleher and TJ Traffer in position number 10. Everyone's spinning out across the line. It's the usual carnage that that you get from T4 Esports as soon as they cross the line. It's just send it into the barriers as fast as you can. Well, that really was a fantastic start, you have to say, to the esports campaign for 2023. Now, it is important to say that everyone there in the top 10 competing for Steam gift vouchers, a €100 voucher for the first place driver, Daniel Amore, €50 voucher for the second place driver. Oh, excuse me, I've just been told that's for the final. Never mind. So Daniel Amore is still going to have to do an awful lot to try and get that €100 Steam gift voucher, and everyone else is also going to be trying to do an awful lot to get it, because a €100 Steam gift voucher for some of these lads is a very nice prize indeed. Has to be said, even if you don't have a karting license that would allow you to compete at the Nations Cup, you can still join in and, like I say, be in with a chance of winning those nice goodies like Steam vouchers. Last year we were giving away merchandise as well. It really is fantastic prizes whether you have a karting license or not. So please do think about signing up if you have the R Factor 2 platform or the Kart Sim DLC, and if you don't have the T4 pack, you can buy it for the extremely reasonable price of €4. We're going to go to a quick ad break. Heat 2 is after this.
We can't manufacture your victory or distill your determination. We harness powerful natural resources to unlock true human potential.
It's intense, the spray. You know, when I first was trialing the spray as we were going along, I'd spray it on wherever I needed it, right? You've got to know the amount, you know what I mean? The spray, I would say, would be immediate. You have a bang, you're not taking a bruise or an impact. It's a little bit, you get to know about it, but I was very, very cold. But then after it starts settling in, you start feeling loose in the limbs, everything starts feeling awake, calm, cool. You go back, you know what I mean? And now I'm a pro with the spray. I love the product.
Tillotson has been fueling innovation for more than 100 years, and we're continuing that tradition by expanding our product range consisting of Tillotson carburetors and engines, the T4 kart packages and PVL ignition coils, to include Tidal Sport products, because Tillotson are now the Irish importer for Tidal Sport. Developed alongside Conor McGregor, Tidal plant-powered cryotherapy spray is a revolutionary new pre- and post-workout recovery spray to rejuvenate your joints and muscles. Go to tillotson.ie/shop to get yours today.
Welcome back, folks. Here we have Heat number 2 ready and waiting for you. I do hope you enjoyed Heat number 1. I certainly did. And if you are enjoying the stream so far, please do leave a like and feel free to subscribe to alphalive and also the Tillotson Racing YouTube channel. So, the grid for Heat number 2, let's take you through it. So, starting on pole, like I say, reverse qualifying order is Camto Chiquera. Oh, excuse me, it's not reversing. Never mind, it is the exact same as before. So let me just pull that up very quickly. Like I said, I do hope you're enjoying the stream. Please do remember to follow Tillotson on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter to keep up to date with all of your T4 esports action and also all of your T4 action from all over the world, wherever you may be watching from. So, same grid as last time. Hardy Mamassi starts on pole in front of Calais Atkins and Daniel Amore. Zane Khan lines up in 4th in front of Nathan Maximum and Remy Gilbert in position number 6. David Vishaw starts in P7 in front of Harvey Jones and James Greer. James Bell rounds out the top 10 in front of Isaac Phelps and Daniel Kelleher in position number 12. Unlucky P13 for Lucas Blanford. Let's see if he can make anything of that in front of Flynn McClumper in position number 14. Niall Herson in 15th, TJ Traffer in 16th, Joe Hull Joel Hull, in position 17 in front of Camto Chakwera in 18th, Luke Woodward in 19th, Joe Shade in P20, and then Philip Gannett 21st, Dan Parent-Smith in 22nd as well. So, let's talk about that race. Well, that really was quite gripping indeed. Like I say, there really is so much action in T4 Esports. We saw it here last year as well at this very circuit. Like I say, you can watch that stream replay on the alphalive YouTube channel. Very, very close racing all round, and you can expect that in any T4 race, be it virtual or otherwise. We certainly saw a lot of it at last year's Nations Cup with, I mean, I have to say, less contact at the Nations Cup, but there is always something to be said about esports. Admittedly, there is significantly less risk involved in crashing in esports, but we do have a race control team tonight and a set of stewards, and they're going to be working throughout the evening to make the racing as fair as possible. Now, as we wait for all the drivers to take to the grid, obviously the grid not reversed, unlike last year where Heat 2 was a reverse qualifying order. Obviously this year things have been changed up, but the prize is still the same, a all expenses paid ticket to the Nations Cup on well, September 21st to the 24th is the dates that it has been set for, so mark that down in your diary, and you will be able to follow along with all of the action from there on YouTube as well, on the Tillotson Racing YouTube channel, as Tillotson is proud to partner with the RGMMC for the second year in a row to broadcast the T4 Nations Cup. Really fantastic event, you have to say, in Valencia in Spain for the second time this year as well. And last year, absolute hit. Really was a fantastically put together event, brilliant broadcasting, and an all-round good time. So do tune in for that, and like I say, make sure if you have the Kart Sim DLC in the R Factor 2 platform that you come in and have a go, because the winner of the T4 Esports Series will get, as I say, an all expenses paid ticket to Valencia, flights, accommodation, kart, mechanic, the lot. All you have to do is take part in this esports series and win. And oh, excuse me, that's not the case for this year, I have been told, but nevertheless some fantastic prizes on offer. And if you do have a excuse me, I've been corrected there, it is just the Steam vouchers that we are competing for at the minute. And I mean, you have to say that's still a pretty good prize, and anyone can win that, whether you have a karting license or not. All you have to do is have the R Factor 2 platform, the Kart Sim DLC, and the Tillotson T4 kart. Then go to the Tillotson.ie website and register, and you can be €100 richer in Steam vouchers. Or maybe even 50 or 30. I mean, you never know. It's not just one prize. It is a reward for everyone in the top 10, running from €100 vouchers down to 5 for position number 10. All the drivers on the grid now as we wait for the lights. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We get ready to go. And we're away now, and the green flag flies, and it looks to be a pretty good start from the third row. Terrible start from off pole. That's Daniel Amore, who's had an absolutely awful start. And oh, excuse me, no, Daniel Amore's had an incredible start. It is Hardy Mamassi who follows him, though, into turn 1. My mistake, it wasn't Daniel Amore. Nathan Maximum's got up from 5th to 3rd, and Rennie Gilbert has managed to get up to 4th as well, and now up to 3rd as Daniel Amore immediately trying to break away, using all of his skills that he harnessed at last year's Nations Cup to break away from the pack. You have to say, rather uneventful thus far compared to the first heat. Maybe all the drivers realising that all of the prizes... Oh, I say that, and then immediately... That's Harvey Jones going up the inside of Daniel Keller. Oh, there's chaos. Kelleher's involved there. That's James Bell as well. And James Greer, David Vishaw's got involved there. Oh, it's just chaos at the back. We're just going to keep looking at Harvey Jones because there's a train of about 18 carts behind him who are all just going hammer and tong at each other. And I imagine that race control is going to be looking into that immediately. But here's Daniel Amore who leads the way in front of Hardy Mamassi and Rennie Gilbert thus far. Nathan Maximum still sitting just outside the podium places as we head up to turn number 4. Hardy Mamassi still chasing down Daniel Amor. Both of these boys competing in last year's T4 Esports Series. And Rennie Gilbert is also falling into the clutches of Nathan Maximum just behind him. 5/10 separates them, but I have a funny feeling that that is going to come down. But we still ride on board with Hardy Mamassi now as he comes through Sector 2, still chasing down Daniel Amor. Look at how smooth he is on the inputs compared to what we were seeing earlier in qualifying. It really is how you want to drive a T4 and a go-kart in general, in fact. Just nice little movements on the wheel, keep it as smooth as you like. The nature of four-strokes like the T4, even though they do have 15 horsepower being pumped out by that TPP 225 RS engine, they are an engine that requires momentum in order to perform at their best, being four-strokes. And we saw that at last year's Nations Cup as Hardy Mamassi is gaining length after length on Daniel Amor. And how long is it going to be until he attempts to pass? Is he still going to go for a move into turn number 5? And there's a 10-second penalty, a 5-second penalty or a 10-second penalty, I have been told, for TJ Traffer. Now, where is he sitting? He's sitting outside the top 10, so that quite likely won't affect things a whole lot. He's currently sitting in position number 14, running a race of his own, you have to say, 1.3 seconds behind the kart in front, and almost half a second in front of the kart behind, so running quite a quiet race at the minute, TJ Traffer, but nevertheless, that isn't going to do him any favours, that penalty. As they round the final corner, it is still Hardy Mamassi chasing down Daniel Amor as they cross the line and come down into turn 1. Less than 0.3 of a second separate them. I don't think there's going to be a move just yet. I think Hardy Mamassi has realised that Remy Gilbert and Nathan Maximum behind, they are battling almost. Oh, I say that, my eyes weren't on the battle, and Hardy Mamassi on the inside of Daniel Amor as they come through turn number 4. It's Hardy Mamassi on the outside, Daniel Amor on the inside. He manages to take the position, and oh, dearie me, dearie me, Hardy Mamassi has had a terrible time there, and now he's down to position number 4, and you saw just how minute that contact was, but it was enough to send the T4 C1 chassis of Hardy Mamassi into a half spin, and now Remy Gilbert has managed to inherit the lead, or not the lead, excuse me, inherited P2. That would be quite remarkable if he inherits the lead from that series of incidents. And Nathan Maximum, excuse me, Nathan Maximum currently sitting in P3. He's going to be eyeing this battle up, this battle for first. And less than a second covering all of these drivers as they fly their way through the chicane. Are we going to see any more moves up into turn number 4? Is Remy Gilbert going to go up the inside of Daniel Amor? We can't see, and no, he doesn't. He holds station, plays it safe. Still 3.5 minutes left to go in this race. No point risking things just yet. We learned that from Hardy Mamassi just a lap ago when he made that audacious move, and ultimately it didn't pay off for him. Excuse me, I do have a bit of a cough at the minute, folks, so you are just going to have to bear with me if I'm clearing my throat as we ride on board with Nathan Maximum, who's currently sitting in P3, hunting down the number 1 of Remy Gilbert, but also keeping an eye behind him on the number 24 kart of Hardy Mamassi. Now, Hardy Mamassi going to be looking to regain those positions as they come through the sweeping final corner. And look at this, they are gaining length after length. The slipstream can be very important in T4s, particularly if the wind is in a headward direction. As they come through the chicane, still no incidents, but look at how close they are. You can nearly cover them with a blanket. This is absolutely brilliant action, and with 2 3/4 minutes left to go, what is the finishing order going to be? No one can tell you as they round their way through turn 5, getting into the highly technical part of the track where you really don't want to make any moves because you are invariably going to turn the inside of one corner into being on the outside of the next. Oh, and a half spin there for Nathan Maximum in his defence against Hardy Mamassi, and he has lost a significant amount of time, and the battle for first is now reduced down to a battle for first and a battle for third, as Hardy Mamassi still pestering. Oh, look at that, bumping and barging past Nathan Maximum, trying to get past round the outside. Can he do it? Oh, this is a fantastic attempt at a manoeuvre from Nathan Maximum, and he gets the move done, from Hardy Mamassi, and he just about, no, he can't hang on. It's very difficult to get that move done round the outside. Can he get the switch back on the exit of the chicane? He's trying. It's going to turn to the outside for turn 4. However, this could be a hugely important race for the final podium position. But alas, it does end with Hardy Mamasi snatching the position off Nathan Maximum. And look at the gap that has been gained by Remy Gilbert. He has gained 3.5 seconds just by that little bit of battling. That is all it takes to lose that amount of time, just a little bit of battling. That's why you often see drivers really not fighting each other until the last couple of laps, or even the last lap in some circumstances, as we ride on board with Daniel Lamour, looking back at the hungry Remy Gilbert, currently sitting in position number 2. You can almost imagine behind that visor that there is a grinning Remy Gilbert, licking his lips, thinking, I can take this win. Alas, if it is Daniel Lamour's victory, he is going to be invariably on pole for the final, and that is going to put him in fantastic stead. The man who appeared at last year's Nations Cup, as I say, finished P2 in the junior class, only behind Truly Adams, the American. And Daniel Lamour made a very important contribution, it has to be said, to the Nations Cup trophy going the way of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom managing to accumulate the most number of Nations Cup points due to their results in the super heats and the finals in each of the classes. The race isn't over yet for Daniel Lamour, but it might be in just a few seconds. It's not over till it's over, but it might be over now. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, so presumably someone has crashed, but we have our eyes on the leaders, and as Daniel Lamour comes up to the line, is it going to be a win? Another time? No, we continue on for one more lap. That's the difficulty with commentating these races, is you don't know when the last lap is, and you don't know how dramatic to make it. We go for one more jolly, one more 1200 metre sprint to the line with Daniel Lamour. Look at how close Remy Gilbert is coming to his rear bumper. Still no moves though from Remy Gilbert, just biding his time, but he'd want to start thinking about hurrying on because he doesn't have much time left. He only has 1.5 sectors left to go, but he has a good run coming down towards turn number 8, but he doesn't make any move just yet. Is he going to make a move perhaps into turn number 10? There's a spinner there on the inside, so no overtaking, but the green flag is now out. There's a brief yellow flag in Sector 1. I don't think there's going to be any moves of desperation from Remy Gilbert, but up the inside he looks, but he thinks better of it, and Daniel Lamour comes round the final corner. Daniel Lamour wins the second heat, his second heat win in a row, and you have to say, a fantastic performance, weaving across the line in jubilation, the young Briton, and that is an absolutely fantastically mature drive from Daniel Lamour to take the flag in front of Remy Gilbert and Hardy Mamasi. Calais Atkins, you have to say, a good recovery to P4 after being shuffled down the order at the beginning. Harvey Jones finished in P number 5 in front of James Bell, Zane Khan, David Bishaw, Daniel Kelleher and Joe Hull. Or is it Joel Hull? It's very difficult to know. Joel Hull, excuse me. We have a Joe and a Joel on the grid today, and so it is quite difficult to know the difference between them. But nevertheless, it was Joel Hull who finished in 10th position. Well, that really was you have to say, a far more strategic and tactical race as far as the approach from the leaders. But still some incidents up there, you have to say. Nathan Maximum having a hard time of things, starting in position number 5 and finishing in position number 5, I do believe. So it could have been a lot more for Nathan Maximum, but also could have been a lot less, you have to say. But nevertheless, all of these results do accumulate, and they mean that Daniel Lamour is going to start the final from the first position, which is, as Will Buxton would say, brilliant, because you have everyone else behind you. So there you go. That's my contribution to Drive to Survive. And you have to say, a fantastic race. Really is a brilliant track, this Kristianstad circuit. Really does lend itself to strategic battles and very, very thought out driving, because whenever you have one corner and you go up the inside and then it immediately turns to the outside for the next corner, it really does force a driver to approach their moves strategically. Because particularly in T4s, if you go defensive on the entry to one corner, okay, you might keep the position, but you're going to leave yourself vulnerable on the exit because you're going to bog down hugely. And if that leaves your opponent on the inside of the next corner, or indeed on the outside, then it can end up being quite messy for you. But nevertheless, that was heat number 2. Please do stay tuned though, because we have the creme de la creme. The final is coming up next.
I couldn't put my name behind something that I didn't believe in and give it to my fans. I have a lot of loyal fans and a lot of loyal supporters, and I just couldn't. And especially in this category. Battle, we've been going back and forth for many years now with title sport. Like I said, I'm not going to touch it unless it's correct here, you know what I mean? So it wasn't until I started getting real benefit out of this that I was all in on it as well. I'm starting to realise there's something really, really, really magical in this spray. And yeah, it just solidified my belief in the product, and that's it.
Set to be an absolute cracker of a race. Having had 2 warm-up heats thus far, you have to say, incredibly exciting stuff throughout. 15 minutes of racing, well, excuse me, 16 minutes of racing in total, with 2 8-minute heats, and now the final. It is set to be an absolute corker. And we await for the grid to be announced, but until then, it probably is my duty to tell you, as the commentator, that registration is the word that I'm looking for. Registration is open for the T4 Nations Cup being held this year, again in Valencia in Spain, a fantastic venue, and the 2nd year that the T4 endurance race will be held with the new T4 rental carts. Fantastic pieces of machinery, and it's important to say as well, there is a nice cheeky discount of €200. Normally it is €750 to register a team for the T4 endurance event, but for a limited time you can register for just €550. So if you are interested in bringing you and up to 3 of your mates down to Valencia to race in a 3-hour endurance race in the T4 endurance carts, then you can get it for a nice cheeky discount, and that €200 can go far on a day out in Valencia city centre, enjoying the sights and sounds, or indeed if you decide to race in another category as well. We did have drivers in last year's Nations Cup driving in both the rentals and also the regular classes, shall we say. We won't say normal because that's a bit rude towards the rental classes, saying that they're abnormal in any way. They're not. They're just they do things in a different way, shall we say. Anyways, we do have the finals up next. Let's take a look at the YouTube chat. Let's see what you guys are saying in there. And oh dearie me, we have an Amore joke from Anthony Jordan. Dearie me, he's, you have to say, he's in there nice and early. And that's Amore. Yeah, I mean, I can't do it as well as you, Anthony, but I mean, if you want to come along and you can do it for us, then you're more than welcome to. But nevertheless, it seems like quite a few drivers are in the YouTube chat. They're also in the Discord, which is quite interesting. How they're managing to do that whilst they're meant to be driving really is, well, I mean, that could explain some of the accidents that we've had so far, with drivers typing in the YouTube chat, typing in the Discord chat, and trying to drive simultaneously. I mean, that's never a recipe for a incident-free race, shall we say. But nevertheless, as I say, final coming up next, and it will be, I'm not sure how long the final is. Last year they were 12 minutes. Now it could be 10 minutes this year. I'm not entirely sure. I'll get back to you when I have an answer on that. Mind you, when I have an answer on it, you will probably be able to see it on the timer up at the top of the screen. But as we wait, we see the marshals. Arguably the best thing about R Factor 2 as a platform is just the passion with which the marshals wave the flags. If you watch the race start and you see the marshal on the left, he is absolutely loving life, waving his green flag, or potentially his yellow flag if everything goes to pot. But it is going to be a 10-minute final, and it is going to be, as I say, Daniel Amore starting on pole. Do stay tuned, because we will have the final up after this.
This is not just a sport. This is not for just the athlete. We all feel pain. We all feel something. You know, you could wake up and sleep on your arm a little bit funny and you feel a little... These are the type of things that I've been using it for. The sprays here and there and just, you know, just to keep everything. But I gave it, like I said, I wasn't going to just put my name behind anything. And that's it. Spray it straight away upon waking. You know, like I said, it just switches you on.
When everything hurts, you need relief that's deeper than ice. You need Tidal, the cryotherapy spray that goes beyond cold to take control of the pain.
This was just easy, and it felt so good.
I was like, wow, that actually smells good.
It's like penetrating into my skin, which I really love.
Tidal's powerful plant-based formulation was developed to help world-class athletes recover faster.
Tidal cryotherapy spray can contribute to total body recovery because it can alleviate muscle pain, joint pain, even back pain.
A 360-degree continuous spray relieves pain in even the hardest to reach areas, dries fast, and lasts.
When you get older, the joints start hurting. The spray is easy. You just bring it wherever you are, spray it, and it feels great within minutes.
It changes my life in a way that I can still be active and yet not feel aches and pains when I'm sitting there for long hours.
Tidal Cryotherapy, available at Walmart and these fine retailers. Visit Tidal.com for locations.
Welcome back, folks. The final is about to be upon us, and we have the grids. It is obviously going to be Anthony Jordan's favourite driver, Daniel Amor, starting on pole, having won both of the heats. Then comes Hardy Mamasi in P2 and James Bell starting P3, Harvey Jones in P4 and Remy Gilbert, after that very impressive second heat, starts in P5. Daniel Kelleher, P6, Zane Khan, P7, Lucas Blomford in P8, in front of Nathan Maximum and Joel Hull, rounding out the top 10. TJ Traffer starts in position number 11 in front of David Bishaw and Niall Herson in unlucky P13. Calais Atkins, disappointing day for him. He starts the final down in position number 14, the reigning T4 Senior Nations Cup champion. He starts in front of Flynn McClumpher in P15, and then Isaac Phelps, Kamto Chukwuera and James Greer. Then comes Joe Shade, Luke Woodward, Thomas Daniel Brundu, Stephen O'Leary, Philip Ganner and Dan Parens Smith to round out your final, well, it is your final grid, but it's your grid for the finals is what I was trying to say. But just like everything else tonight, it seems that I am not able to speak, which certainly isn't what you want from your commentator. But nevertheless, we are here now and I'm here now, so I probably ought to crack on with it rather than talking about the fact that I can't talk. Now, it's worth saying as well, Daniel Amor, Anthony's favourite driver that is, does have very good form around here. Last year at this very race, he finished P3 in the second heat and then won the final, so he knows how to win round here, obviously because he's won the two heats previous to this final, but he does know how to drive this track very well indeed and knows how to win. Rory O'Shea, who was also, I'm not sure is he taking part, let me just take a look at the grid. He is unfortunately not taking part. He was on the entry list, but Rory O'Shea not managing to make it this evening. He finished P2 in last year's final here at this very track on but 10 months ago, so there has been a bit of time passed since then. But you know what they say, talent never fades, and Daniel Amor has certainly shown that today. As let's take a look at the YouTube chat. Ronnie Smith is in there. Good evening to you, Ronnie, and says that Zane Kid loves a shunt. Well, I mean, incidents happen, racing is racing, and I mean, Zane Khan, he's a very popular man in the chat. It seems like everyone is, well, I mean, Ronnie Smith is certainly a big fan of his. Anthony hasn't come up with any more passion regarding Daniel Amor. Maybe he expended that in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in however many characters he used there in spelling Amore. He really doesn't get tired of that joke. It really is nice to see such an easy sense of humour. You know, all you need to do is put Daniel Amor in front of him and he'll be entertained for hours. And anyways, let's take a look. What sim is this? This is the Kart Sim DLC for the R Factor 2 platform, with the Tillotson T4 package attached to it. If you would like to get involved, all you have to do is have R-Factor 2 and the Kart Sim DLC, and then if you don't already have the T4 package, you can buy it on Steam for the extremely reasonable price of €4. Excuse me, clearing my throat again. Hady is the GOAT. Well, he certainly seems to be starting in position number 2. Arguably though, Anthony does have a veto on that coin, because Hardy Massey is starting behind Daniel Lamour, and well, fair to say Daniel Lamour is in the best possible. Oh my goodness me, something is happening down the back that shouldn't be happening. Oh no, we're going to cut away from that because, well, I mean, YouTube might take us down for it if we don't, and we all get ready for the start. Oh, number 21 there is very aggressively moving the wheel. Now that could be, oh, never mind, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the racing, because we are away now. The marshals wave the green flags and we're away. It's a good start from Daniel Moore off the pole. Oh, immediately onto the grass. I think that was David Bishaw pushing someone off there. I'm not entirely sure who it was. Never mind, excuse me, it was Daniel Kelleher, I believe, pushing James Bell off of the track along the start-finish straight as they come down into turn number 4, though it is clean thus far as James Bell manages to get up into position number 3 in front of Harvey Jones and Daniel Kelleher, and Remy Gilbert getting involved as well. They're 3 wide behind. That is, I'm not entirely sure, that is Gilbert, Jones and Kelleher all going at it, and now it's a battle for 4th as Maximum gets involved and gets past Gilbert, but not for long. Gilbert gets him back as they all make their way through the second sector. It is still Daniel Lamour who leads, though, from Hardy Massey, and James Bell has managed to get his way up into the top 3 as well, as there's a battle going on between Zane Khan and Blanford Kelleher, and also Traffer as well on the fringes of the top 10. But nevertheless, we do continue to watch this battle emerging in the top half of the top 10, just between P3, P4 and P5. James Bell, Harvey Jones and Remy Gilbert. Gilbert looking to get a move done on Harvey Jones, but nevertheless not able to get it done just yet. But over the inside on the switchback, how has he managed to pull that off? He can't get it done though around the outside, and he does have to settle back in to position number 5 for now. But like I say, 10-minute heat, no, excuse me, 10-minute final. There is plenty of time left to play. 8 minutes 20 on the clock as we ride on board with Remy Gilbert in the number 1, chasing down the number 15 of Harvey Jones, and getting a good look at that rear bumper of his. And Harvey Jones is going to be looking to close that gap. Well, I mean, there isn't much of a gap left to close, in fairness. James Bell is going to want to get a bit of a wiggle on, though, to chase down Hardy Massey, who's just in front of him, as TJ Traffer and Hull are both battling down on the fringes of the top 10. But to the inside goes Remy Gilbert. Can he get the move done up into turn 1? No, he can't. It's a difficult place to get a move done through the fast sweeper of turn number 1. Nevertheless, he is a man for trying, as we've seen, and there's no harm in giving it a go. But look at this, a copy-paste manoeuvre for Gilbert on the second lap of trying to pull it off. It still doesn't work, and he still has to settle back down into position number 5 as they round turn number 6, the 6th of the 7 right-handers, and rounding turn number 7 and 8, still no action. You have to say, everyone really calming down in this final, and well, I mean, you kind of does my voice a favour, because I couldn't handle much more drama compared to what we've had in the first 16 minutes of racing today. As we still have Daniel Lamour with a 3/10 gap to Hardy Massey behind, and you have to say that Anthony Jordan's confidence in Daniel Amore has paid off. But that could all change lickety-split. We just don't know in T4s. That is the nature of the beast. It is not over until it is over. That's a given in motorsport, in karting, and most certainly in T4s, as we have Harvey Jones under attack from behind from Remy Gilbert, who's trying to go up the inside, but still can't get that manoeuvre done. He loves the move into turn number 5, but he just cannot do it. And now Nathan Maximum, I believe that is putting him under serious pressure behind, as Jones goes up the inside of Bell and snatches the position off of him. And oh, does he? No, never mind. No, he doesn't. Forget that I said that. It is Gilbert up the inside of Jones. Excuse me, I'm getting all disorientated here. That really is not what you want to see. But then again, It's Simon, so you're quite likely to see it. Yellow flag in sector 3. There is someone off in the background there. That looks to be potentially... No, it's not Daniel Kelleher. I think that is David Fishaw. David Fishaw out of the final. A disappointing day for David. And he is out with 6 minutes left to go, almost. And you have to say, disappointing for David Fishaw, a man who showed huge pace around here last year. And just not able to replicate that this year. As we look back to Daniel Lamore. Daniel Lamore coming under a little bit of pressure from behind from Hardy Mamassi. But Daniel very cool, calm and collected behind the wheel. And I don't think that he is going to be put under too much pressure emotionally, mentally, psychologically by Hardy Mamassi behind. As we look to Hardy Mamassi, both of these guys just breaking away from the pack behind. Look at that, a 3-second gap between Hardy Mamassi and James Bell in position number 3, and that is only getting bigger as James Bell battles with Remy Gilbert and Harvey Jones behind him. Nathan Maximum also has the potential to get involved there and make something very decent for himself as they make their way through the chicane, really attacking the curbs. You do have to be brave with the curbs in the T4s. They don't always like them, but as long as you hit them right, you should be okay. Over the crest at turn 4, you can get a bit of air there in faster karts, not the T4s, but in certain shifter karts you can. As we look back to the battle for, well, it's difficult to know what it's a battle for, because it could be a battle for 3rd, it could be a battle for 4th, or, oh, never mind, look at this, round the outside goes Remy Gilbert, attempting to at least, but that doesn't work for him. Excuse me, that's Harvey Jones trying to go up the inside now into turn number 10. He gets the move done, and can Nathan Maximum get involved there? No, he can't, not yet. Oh, excuse me, I'm all over the place with this. It's just impossible to keep track when all the liveries are the same. The two of them going side by side now. That is Zane Khan and Harvey Jones battling for position number 6. And it is Zane Khan who comes out on top in front of Harvey, in front of Harvey Jones. Gee whiz, I'm all over the place now. I do apologise for that, folks. Nathan Maximum still hanging on to P5. He's going to be thinking this is a really great thing that's happening. But they go 3 wide nearly, but not quite. Nathan Maximum just about hanging on to his position number 5, but only by the cat's whiskers as they come up towards turn number 6. This could become a very tasty battle if they start to get involved with James Bell, who is just up the road, and potentially Remy Gilbert as they're going side by side, and it is going to be Harvey Jones who just about manages to take the position away from Zane Khan. But I've got a feeling that that may not last for long, because Zane Khan is a man on a mission, and with 3 minutes left to go, he is going to want that P6 back. Now, admittedly, it doesn't make any difference in the prizes. It is P6 downwards to P10 all get a €5 Steam gift voucher, I do believe. But nevertheless, pride does come into it to an extent, even in esports, even when there's very little to lose. Pride does come into it as we look back. Fantastic camera angle on Nathan Maximum's number 31 kart as he really attacks the exit curbs there. Fantastic commitment from Nathan as he's still holding off Zane Khan and Harvey Jones behind him. Zane Khan in the pink overalls, Harvey Jones in the, oh, what colour is that? It's not purple, it's not pink, it's somewhere in between. You can tell there's very little happening in the battle that we're watching when I'm commentating on the colour scheme of the drivers' overalls, but there is still a battle up at the front at least. As we cut back to it now, Hardy Mamassi and Daniel Lamore, less than a tenth separates them. They are glued together. You could cover them with a blanket as we come up to turn number 4 for what is likely to be the 3rd last time. 58 seconds, 59 seconds is a very competitive lap around here. So if my maths is correct, we still have 2 more laps after this, and Daniel Lamore doing a mighty job to hang on to position number 1 as they're coming up to some lap traffic now. That looks to be O'Leary there. I'm not entirely sure how he's managed to get into this position, but it's been a terrible time. He does manage to get out of the way, does Mr. O'Leary, and not causing the leaders any issues there. You do like to see that. There has been times in the past in T4 Esports where things have gone very badly wrong involving lapped traffic. but Stephen O'Leary managing to get out of the way there very effectively. And with a minute left on the clock, it is going to be one more lap after this, unless Daniel Amor slows down, but there is absolutely no reason why he would do that. As we look back to Nathan Maximum still battling over position number 5, and still no movement in that battle. But it could heat up at any moment. It really is going to be a question, which battle do we look at? Which one do we think is going to heat up more? Is it going to be Maximin, Khan and Jones, or is it going to be Amor and Mimasi? That is the question on everyone's lips, but there will be one more lap to decide that, and Daniel Amor starting to build up a little bit of a gap. It's only a temporary one, you have to say, because gaps come and go like two sides of an accordion in T4 Esports. All it takes is a little bit of oversteer. Look at Daniel Amor weaving down the straights, trying to break that toe, but to no avail, maybe thinking that the race might have ended. Alas, it has not, and for once my prediction about laps is right. We do have this final lap as they navigate this 1200 metres one last time. It is Amor who is very much in control of this in front of Hardy Mimasi. Remy Gilbert is currently sitting in P3. He's driving pretty much a race of his own. He's got James Bell behind him, who doesn't pose much of a threat at the minute, with a 5/10 gap, and then comes the battle for 5th between Maximin, Khan and Jones. Daniel Kelleher sitting in position number 8 in front of Joel Hull and Lucas Blanford in position number 10. But alas, it is going to be a day late and a dollar short for Hardy Mimasi. He wasn't able to dethrone Daniel Amor. He wins every single race tonight. Daniel Amor takes the €100 Steam voucher and wins in Kristianstad. He weaves across the line once again in absolute joy. A fantastic performance. Oh, and away goes, I think that was Zain Khan potentially. And, well, I mean, that was the most exciting thing to happen in that battle in the final sort of 5 laps. But fantastic to see Amor executing such a commanding drive there, lights to flag, and you have to say a fantastic achievement, winning in Kristianstad 2 years in a row in T4 Esports. And oh my goodness me, what on earth just happened there? That really was, you can't do that in real life, and for good reason as well. Calais Atkins didn't finish, unfortunately. A very disappointing day for him, but nevertheless, he does still hold the title of the T4 Esports champion, and also the T4 Senior Nations Cup final. Well, that really was an absolutely fantastic bit of racing. I do hope you have enjoyed that as much as I have. Well done to all of our drivers for putting on such a fantastic performance this evening. It really has been an absolute pleasure to watch and to commentate. I do hope you have enjoyed watching as much as I have. Please do remember to subscribe to the alphalive YouTube channel, as well as following us on social media. Please do follow Tillotson as well on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube and TikTok. It really would mean the world to us to keep up to date with all of your T4 action. If you would like to get involved, go to the Tillotson website and register. And if you'd like to get involved in real life T4 racing, you can check out all of your local dealers on the Tillotson website also. Well, that really has been an absolutely fantastic start to this year's Tillotson T4 Esports series. Like I say, I do hope you have enjoyed. And, oh, look at that. Anthony is back in the chat. GG all. Well, that really is fantastic to see that he's not entirely biased towards Daniel Amor. But thank you all for joining us in the chat, and have a very good evening. We'll see you next time.